Welcome to this message of encouragement. Today I'm going to be talking about keeping the Sabbath holy. But before I get started, I always like to ask those of you who are watching to please pray for our nation's leaders. Please pray for those that are in positions of authorities, the business owners, for food prices, gasoline prices, for all these people that at the time are driving our prices up. And like I said, our leaders need prayer. Other people need prayer, especially these business owners right now that's getting caught up in that love of money, and they just can't make enough money, and it's driving our prices up. And I'm just asking that you pray for them. Prayer is the only thing that's going to help us. Also, please remember other people in prayer. I ask you to please remember me in prayer. I need a special touch. I need a healing in my body, and would very much appreciate it if you would remember me in prayer. And as I said, there are so many needs out there in the world. Just please remember, other people. And talking about keeping the Sabbath holy, most people don't give the Sabbath the second thought. And they don't realize that, in wanting to, get their prayers answered, maybe answered a little bit faster, that there are things that can keep you from getting your prayers answered, in a speedy amount of time. And when people tell you, well, look and see what you're doing to hinder, God's work, well, you always want to be pleasing to God. And if you're not keeping the Sabbath holy, that is displeasing to God. So let's first look at what is the Sabbath. Since there, is confusion about it. We look around for, on our, Sabbath days, and we see a lot of, activity going on. So let's, look at the definition of what the Sabbath is. The dictionary defines the Sabbath as a day of religious observance and abstinence from work kept by Jewish people from Friday evening to Saturday evening, and by most Christians on Sunday. Notice it says kept by most Christians, and that is true. It's very few, that keep the Sabbath and keep it holy. The Wikipedia says that the Sabbath is a weekly day of rest or time of worship given in the Bible as the seventh day. It is observed differently in Judaism and Christianity and informs a similar occasion in several other faiths. Though many viewpoints and definitions have arisen over the millennia, most originate in the same textual tradition of remember to keep the Sabbath day holy. So let's look and see what the Bible says about the Sabbath. If you'll turn to Genesis chapter 2, it says, by the seventh day, God had finished his work. So on the seventh day, he rested from his work. Then God blessed the seventh day, and he made it holy. So God rested from all the work, from all that he had created. He took that day of rest, and he didn't do anything. He rested, and he blessed the day, and he made it holy. Leviticus chapter 23 says, there are 6 days when you may work, but the seventh day is a day of the Sabbath rest, a day of sacred assembly. You're not to do any work wherever you live. It is a Sabbath to the Lord. And in Exodus chapter 20, this comes from the 10 Commandments. It says, remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither shall your son or your daughter, or your male or your female servant, or your animals, nor any foreigners residing within your town or on your property. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them. But he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and he made it holy. Exodus chapter 34 says, 6 days you shall work, but on the seventh day you shall rest. In plowing time and in harvest time you shall rest. And so let's look and let's see what Jesus has to say about the Sabbath. In Mark chapter 2, Jesus says that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So let me read that again. The Sabbath was made for man. It's made for us. We're not made for the Sabbath. It is made for us. That day of rest is specifically made for us. Jesus also goes on to say, so the Son of Man is Lord even on the Sabbath. So, what Jesus is trying to say in saying that the Sabbath is made, for us, is that, that we have got to take that day of rest. Our bodies are not designed, to work, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, just continuously. People get burned out, and this is the number one way that people do get burned out. They don't step away from their jobs. They don't push away from their work. They don't try to rejuvenate themselves emotionally or physically, and that hurts a lot of people. And God knew that our bodies couldn't do this, so that's why He set aside the Sabbath, and He blessed it, and He made it holy, and He left it for our sacred assembly in the churches to visit family, or just just that quiet time, just that day of rest. If you don't take a nap and something like that, you can at least take it easy, doing something other than that hard labor, even if your job just working at a computer that requires your brain work all day long. You've got to have that day of rest. Think about things that you're doing that may be displeasing to God, like mowing your yard. It's after you come home from church or something. The Lord doesn't want you out mowing the yard, and you're talking about going shopping and things. Well, that's when you go like shopping and say, well, that's relaxing to me, but you're actually causing somebody else to have to work. Like on a Sunday, because you're out shopping and those stores, you're expecting them to be open. So, that's not good, for you to be shopping on Sundays, because if you didn't do the shopping on Sunday, the stores would close like they did in years past. They would just be closed. So, in a sense, the people who are wanting to go shopping and, wanting to get groceries and things, I got to do this on a Sunday, that is forcing other people to have to go to work. So you need to take that into consideration, because if people will stop this, these stores can close on Sundays. These stores can close on Christmas Eve. These stores can close on Thanksgiving Day and on Easter. And you wonder why, a lot of them are not closed, is because the people are demanding that they be open, because, they're like, I've got to go to Walmart, I've got to go to the grocery store, I've got to go here, there, yonder. And no, you don't. It can be done another day. Try not to be selfish and self-centered. Think about other people. That's where we miss it. We're not thinking about other people. So I hope this message has been encouraging to you. I hope it has been uplifting to you. Feel free to share it if it has been encouraging to you. God bless, and stay safe.